10's Justin Lum, who is out there. We talked to him last night about some of those protests that are going on outside of a ballot processing center. Justin, what's going on today? Anything new? How are you out there?
Election center, and I want to give you a look right now. You have a crowd gathered around the megaphone. They've been listening to different speakers take turns on the megaphone. We just watched them pray a little while ago. They just did the Pledge of Allegiance together. I can say there are around 100 Trump supporters here right now. You see the flags, you see the signs, and it's been pretty peaceful so far. And this is a different setup than last night, where basically you had a couple hundred Trump supporters at the steps of the election center. Here you have them in the parking lot that's basically been split into two. There's a fence in the background. You may see the lights too. There's some press on that side. There's some press over here on the sidewalk, but really this crowd has slowly grown since around 3 this afternoon. We've been here. Basically their message is that they want their votes counted in a fair and just way, and they just don't believe that Biden could take Arizona. So that's what they're doing here right now. This is what it looks like as this crowd has slowly grown tonight, Daytona.
Justin, have you heard from any of the officials out there? Have they come out and talked to the crowds at all?
No, not at all. I mean, election officials are busy inside the department building. Workers are counting votes. I believe it was about 275,000 ballots to be counted here in Maricopa County alone. As you mentioned just earlier, we're waiting for those results. So really, you have the protesters out here, you have people working inside, you have deputies with MCSO, Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, on standby at the perimeter. They have the speaker system here, so they've been playing music. They listened to the president speak a little earlier. So everything's a bit separated, but they are anxious and they are waiting, and they want their votes counted, as they say. Meanwhile, election workers are literally counting the votes as we speak.
Right, so President Trump did bring up Arizona in his remarks earlier. So what was their response when they're hearing that come in?
Well, definitely hearing President Trump fired them up. They plugged in the press conference to the speaker system. They definitely believe that at the end of tonight, President Trump will at least catch up in the race here for Arizona and even possibly take Arizona. That is what they truly believe. They are upset with the current results so far. They do believe in the conspiracy that is Sharpiegate, and election officials have already told us and explained multiple times, not just to us, but to the people on social media, that Sharpies are okay to use on ballots, that your ballot would not be invalidated, and they're actually recommended to use by the manufacturer of the county's tabulation machines. These people out here do not buy it, and that is what they're mainly frustrated about. They keep using the key terms at fraud. They keep saying things like, we won't let Democrats steal the election. And their message is that they're going to be out here all night speaking up for themselves and speaking up for President Trump.
Justin, in your opinion and what you've been hearing from officials, do you think it's possible that Arizona could have those results in tonight, at least for Maricopa County?
I think at last check, I believe they said 7 p.m. that there would be another batch of results out of the 275,000 ballots. Not sure how many would actually be released, so it's going to be very interesting to see how that affects the race and the potential tightening of this race between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So we'll see. I really can't give my opinion on that. We just wait and see, and hopefully about 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, for those who don't understand what time zone we're on, we're just about 20 minutes out from 7 p.m. So it should be interesting to see if that does officially come out.
Definitely, and we are going to be waiting to see the reaction from these protesters and Trump supporters here as those results come out and what they have to say about it, because some claim that their ballots have been canceled for whatever reason.
Yeah. Last question for you, Justin. Just because you've been there over the past 2 days, does tonight feel different to you than it was last night? It seems a lot more tame.
It definitely does. You can tell the vibe is a little more peaceful and definitely more organized. Last night you had a small group here at the election center, then a large group started to gather at the state capitol, and then they all came down here together, and it just seemed a lot more tense, a lot more frustration. Nothing physical, nothing violent. I can say it was peaceful. Like I said, they did pray last night together. They chanted 4 more years. They chanted, "We want Trump," and things of that nature, and chanting, of course, count our votes. But out here, it is definitely a little bit more peaceful, more of a unity thing between these protesters.
All right. Thank you, Justin. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Again, Fox 10's Justin Lum out